Good morning to everyone. Maayong buntag sa tanan.
Good morning, President.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning, Sir Vic, Director
Morning.
Torpe. Good morning po.
Morning po, sir.
Yes, good
Ma'am
morning.
Ann, good morning. RD, Alfonso. Merry Christmas, sir, in advance. Happy New Year.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Ma'am Ann, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning sa lahat. Nasaan na ba si Richmond? Hello, Richmond.
Morning, ma'am.
Wala pa yung iba, no? Si Giselle wala pa.
Si Ma'am Giselle po nakalagin na rin po.
Ha?
Nakalagin na po sila.
Nakalagay na. Hello, Giselle. Good morning. Yung mana...
Good morning, Dr. Villalobos, Ann.
good morning.
Magandang umaga po, Dr. Derihe.
Magandang umaga po, ma'am.
Kamusta po kayo? Kamusta na po ang Bukidnon? Di masyadong naapektuhan ng bagyong Odette.
Wala naman po, ma'am. Salamat sa Diyos.
Salamat sa Diyos.
Very good. Yeah, okay naman po. Cagayan de Oro lang, ma'am. Medyo may baha sila, ma'am.
May baha.
Opo.
Mabuti. RD Alamban, magandang umaga po.
Good morning po.
Good morning. I hope DOST Secretary De La Peña can join us later. I know he has another appointment, but Anne, did he confirm that he will try to join us later?
He said that he is in the mountain province doing some inspection, so he will try his best.
Yeah.
He is
He's
in
doing
Boston.
Regional
but-
visits right now.
I think. He said he has a recorded message, so I asked Richmond if he has it.
All right. That is
So,
good.
I don't have a copy of that message.
Would you like me to communicate with the sec boy?
Yes, please, Giselle.
All right. I will viber him. Thank you.
He said he'll have a recorded message just in case.
Double down on our efforts to catch up with science and technology and innovation. Science and technology and innovation, these are indispensable in the modern economy, in the modern world.
The problem being that, while we have our PhDs here, there aren't enough of us. And everywhere else in the world, for research to be successful, you need a complete research group.
It's very important that the PAASE members and scientists based in the Philippines are continuously in contact, so we will know the needs of the Filipinos and opportunities that the Filipinos can have to do science with their PAASE counterparts.
I think that is one of the good programs that they keep on supporting some of the initiatives of our researchers and scientists here in the country.
The role of this cooperation among these government agencies really is to be able to attract science and technology, global-based companies to set up shop here. And that is really key in terms of developing the science and technology innovation ecosystem in the country.
We really need to ratchet up the appreciation, the recognition of the importance of science and technology and innovation.
And we are all trying to attain what we call the common good, the greater, higher, long-term good of the Filipino people.
Yan na si Al. Where are you?
Morning, Ann.
Good morning, Al.
Tama na yung araw ko.
yun. Hindi lang ikaw kahapon yung nag-sign in, pati si Elsie. Bilis,
Morning,
ano?
everyone.
Good morning.
Hi, Anne. How are you?
Good
I'm
morning,
okay.
Al.
Yeah?
Merry Christmas dyan.
Merry Christmas sa inyong lahat.
Good morning.
Morning, Doc Luli.
Hi.
Good morning,
Anne, Giselle.
Morning, Giselle.
Yes.
Are you in San
Hello.
Francisco, Giselle?
I'm in Nashville now.
Nashville na. Apostolic tour.
That's all.
We're traveling for, okay.
Sorry, there is Mario. Hi, Mario.
Hello.
Morning,
How's
Mario,
everyone?
Marge.
Where are you? Good
Hey.
morning.
Yeah, March is here too.
Marge.
Ino.
Good
Hello.
morning. Good morning, everybody.
Ino, morning.
Good morning.
Cecil Reyes is here too.
Good
Thanks
morning.
for joining. Victor.
Hi, Cecile.
Anne,
Si
good morning.
Director Alamban.
And then Dr. Joe Cruz is with us. Thanks for
You was the
joining,
first
Joe.
one signed in.
Be
Dr.
more
Cruz.
member. Mhm.
Hello.
So
Yes, I'm here.
I understand we're waiting for the governor. Yes.
You're still in Ohio, Joe?
I'm still here.
Are you planning to come anytime soon? We're lower than you guys are now.
Yeah, except if I go, I'd have to be in quarantine at some
Oh,
hotel.
yes. Yes. That's not good.
Tinawagan na daw yung government, San Fernando. May internet kaya siya.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. This is
siya na.
Michael from San Fernando.
Oh, ito na siya.
Sorry kasi medyo hindi maayos ang weather condition.
Pero okay na ngayon?
Okay na, I'm using my phone. Kasi hindi pa ano ng laptop ko.
Okay. Giselle, siya yung hinihintay natin.
Okay, kayo po. Maraming salamat. Thank you for joining us.
Okay.
So perhaps we can start. And is Dr. Flory Sena, our Master of Ceremony, is she here?
She's here. But we can start. I thought you wanted to play the PAASE video first.
I think we did. We just did. I heard it, saw it.
Okay, so we'll start. What I will do is I will introduce the guests. These are the signatories actually for the MOU between PAASE and Bukidnon through Central Mindanao University, the DOST Region 10, and the municipality of San Fernando. So good morning and good evening in the US. With a few days away from Christmas, so Merry Christmas to all. This time we are glad to have the MOU signing number 22, I guess. And this time PAASE and Bukidnon through CMU, San Fernando, and the DOST Region 10. So for this, our honorable guests are the Mayor of San Fernando, Honorable Levi C. Edma Sr., represented here by Michael Angelo P. Mendia, the ecotourism coordinator who has been for 6 years a tourism officer designate of San Fernando LGU. Honorable Levi C. Edman Sr. served as municipal mayor for 3 terms from 2012 to 2021. He was futuristic that under his term, San Fernando will be a premier ecotourism destination in the province of Bukidnon. Under his administration, he planned to boost tourism industry by building tourism infrastructures, the San Fernando Eco Adventure Park and Resort, the ongoing construction of proposed tourism center with view deck and pasalubong center. And the third one is to develop an ecotourism site, local conservation area which highlights the nature and culture tourism of the municipality. This project is in partnership with Central Mindanao University, the Center for Biodiversity Research and Extension in Mindanao, or CIBRIM, and the Philippine Eagle Foundation. Another guest is CMU President Jesus Antonio G. Derihi. President Derihi is Doctor of Veterinary Medicine from CMU and a PhD in Animal Science from the University of Southern Mindanao, which he then became University President of USM. After his stint at USM, he was elected President of CMU since 2019. President Derihi fosters research collaborations within CMU and other government and private organizations and even individuals. In fact, he has joined several mountain expeditions by CIBRIM team. He's a champion of biodiversity and the utilization of plants for food, medicine, cosmetics, and providing livelihood to farmers who are usually indigenous people living in the area. So when I spoke with him about the proposed project in San Fernando, he was excited and offered whatever can be done by CMU to support the project. He has all-out support for research, development, and extension, and for strategizing what benefits these are for the people. Our third guest is Director Alfonso P. Alamban of the UST Region 10. Director Alamban graduated from Asian Institute of Management for his Master in Business Management with concentration in Marketing Management and Rural Development. He earned his BS Agriculture with concentration in Agronomy and Animal Husbandry from Xavier University as an SDB scholar and graduated cum laude. Prior to joining the UST Region 10, he had a stint at the Department of Trade and Industry in Misamis Oriental, with office that facilitated social preparation projects, developed cottage and small industries in the countryside dealing with indigenous materials, and many others. Director Alamban of the USD Region 10 is a champion in food technology to alleviate malnutrition, including complementary feeding programs, provide livelihood to women councils for products from waste materials, and for improving living conditions, providing star books or a digital library in a box to indigenous people's school in Bukidnon and other projects. These projects are in line with what we are envisioned for San Fernando, but this time it is research-based. The other guests are our CBRIM researchers of Central Mindanao University. So we have Dr. Florfi Akma, Director, and she is the Master of Ceremony. Dr. Fulgent P. Coritico is already nominated for membership to PAASE. Dr. Melanie Guang, Noel Lagunday, co-host. Dr. Lalaine Grace Maghanoy, Dr. Merced Gutierrez, Dr. John Lloyd Dapar, and April Joey Lagumbay, who is so helpful for us in the preparation of this MOU signing. And I would like to thank you, PAASE members, for finding time to be here for this activity. The next part is the opening remarks by Dr. Florfi Akma, Director of CBRIM, on behalf of Dr. Alan P. Dargantes, VP of RDE of Central Mindanao University. Florfi.
My respects to everyone here in this virtual room, especially to the dignitaries of this very significant activity on the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between Central Mindanao University, CMU, who is represented by our very dynamic president, Dr. Jesus Antonio G. Dereje, Department of Science and Technology, represented by Regional Director Alfonso Alamban. Also to the PAASE members or the members of the Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering, represented to us by Dr. Giselle Concepcion. Also to the LGU of San Fernando, Bukidnon. My warm greetings to everyone here in this room. In behalf of Central Mindanao University's Vice President for Research, Development, and Extension, Dr. Alan P. Dargantes, please allow me to deliver the opening remarks of this significant occasion. The signing of the MOU between the four sectors signifies a collaborative effort in doing research and translating it for the benefit of the community with the ultimate aim of helping the indigenous people who dwell in the vicinity of Mount Pantaron found in San Fernando, Bukidnon. This is in consonance with CMU's mandate, which is to serve the underserved sectors of society. Much more that we need to capacitate the people living near the forest because they play a crucial role in the sustainable use of biodiversity found in the forest. On the part of the researchers, this is a time, or this is a call to go out of our comfort zones and reach to the indigenous people. Much more, very important for the Center for Biodiversity Research and Extension in Mindanao, or the CBRIM, a special center of CMU. This endeavor is an integral part of the mandate of carrying out extension and community involvement. This extension project, which is on the preserving Mount Pantaron Range Highland Paradise through the development of marketable indigenous handicrafts and ornamental plants, is an extension of a research funded by the DOST GIA and is implemented in Sebrem through the support of Central Mindanao University. So we thank the funders, specifically the DOST. We also thank Dr. Ann Villalobos for the seed money for this extension. Much more, we'd like to thank our CMU administration through Dr. Dereje for his constant and oozing support to our endeavors. We'd also like to thank Dr. Victor Amoroso, our project leader for this research, for the continuous guidance and mentoring to all of us here, and to all the researchers of this team. It is our fervent hope that through this memorandum of understanding, we can create better way of life by offering livelihood opportunities to the indigenous people of San Fernando. So we thank everyone for spending your precious time with us. We look forward to the success of this activity and for its future implementation. So it's 5 days before Christmas. I wish one and all a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous year ahead. Thank you very much. So since I am also the host, I would like to proceed with the next. I would like to call in Dr. Victor Amoroso for the presentation of the background of this research entitled Preserving Mount Pantaron Range Highland Paradise, Sustainable Extension Strategies by CMU DOST Research for the Indigenous Farmers of San Fernando, Bukidnon. Sergey.
Thank you, Flor. National Scientist Lourdes Cruz, Regional Director of the OSIT 10, Director Alfonso Alamban, our very supportive University President, Dr. Jesus Antonio Dureje, Honorable Mayor of San Fernando, Mayor Levy Edma, represented by Mr. Mike Menju, our ever energetic President of PAASE, Dr. Giselle Concepcion, other officers and members of PAASE, and participants in today's gathering. A pleasant morning to each one of us. Before I present or discuss the upcoming extension project to be funded by PAASE, let me explain how this extension project has evolved from research. The Department of Science and Technology, Grant and Aid, has given us a budget to do a research about biodiversity in 4 mountain ecosystems in Mindanao. And these are Mount Hamiguitan Range Wildlife Sanctuary, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. That's one. The second mountain is Mount Apo, which is the highest mountain in the Philippines, and also an ASEAN Heritage Site. The 2 other mountains are found in Bukidnon, and these are Mount Tago and Mount Pantaron Range. And in our discussion this morning, we'll focus on Mount Pantaron, which I said one of the sites where we implemented our research on biodiversity. And so the research that we did is entitled Biodiversity in Selected Mountains in Mindanao for Conservation and Sustainable Development. And well, this is implemented by the Central Mindanao University through Sebrem. Next slide. Well, anyway, that's a panoramic view of part of Pantaron Range. in our inventory, we found out that the range, Pantaron range, is the habitat of several species of flora, about 659 species, 140 species of vertebrates, and also the same number of invertebrates. And we also found several threatened endemic species of plants and animals in the area. So this is how important is Mount Pantarons, because it is the home of this threatened and endemic flora and fauna in the Philippines. In fact, we also discovered several new species in the area, like the Ophiderma subspecies, the first slide, the first photograph, and several species of pitcher plants. Next slide. As we implemented our search on biodiversity in the area, we tried to develop the so-called local conservation area. And there is that an area where we develop and showcase the area to present the different species of plants which are endemic and new to science. Like as we walk in the area, we discovered several species of pitcher plants of the genus Nepenthes and several other plants. And these are just examples of the flora and fauna that you can find in that stretch of 2-kilometer transit walk. And so you can see the diversity of plants and animals. And this is the area that will be developed by the San Fernando officials. Next slide. Next slide. Well, in our 2-year implementation of our research project, we're able to develop communication, education, public awareness materials, which we distributed to the stakeholders when we presented the results of our research to the stakeholders during community validation meeting. And so it is important that whatever results that we have generated from research should be returned back to the stakeholders through or during the community validation meeting. And I said this is the occasion where we distributed these materials to enhance awareness regarding the biodiversity in Mount Pantaron range. Next. Next. Okay, since our upcoming project will focus on ornamental plants, these were some of the plants which we have encountered, we have seen in the area. Many are really potential ornamental species, in which these are the possible species of plants that can be propagated by the stakeholders or the indigenous tribe, the Manobo. So we have the first plant. This is not only ornamental but also edible. This is Bukidnon and Silaginella, a magnificent one. This is Silaginella magnifica, and many other ornamental plants like Hoya and Medinellia there, and you have the wild pichai. Not only that's a potential ornamental, but also an edible plant. Next slide. Okay, and more of the species of ornamentals like begonia here, and the begonia, the lady slipper, papilipedalum. We have another species of Medinellia, and the several species of pitcher plants. These are site endemic species of pitcher plants in Nepenthes. This species is one of the species of Nepenthes, Nepenthes manobo, and this one has the largest pitcher. This is Nepenthes malimomo, and we would like to showcase these different site endemic species of pitcher plants to the visitors or tourists in the area, because we would like to showcase these site endemic species and also protect and conserve these these remaining species, because once they are gone forever, being sight and dead. Next slide. Okay. Despite of the high diversity of plants and animals in Mount Pantaro Range, we have these several threats in the area. Like we have observed the shifting cultivation, cutting of the trees to give way for the high value crops like this one. And there are shanties here of the Manobos, how poor they are. They're just living in these places with shanties, and there's also wide road widening in the area, small scale mining, and gathering of cutting of trees for lumber, and the abundance of you call locally this one, we call this one as buyo-buyo or piper adongkom, which is highly invasive species in the area. Next slide. And other threats would be the overcollection of some ornamental plants. Well, we have the abaca here being harvested by the Manobos, and the gathering of the critically endangered staghorn fern, Platycerium cornarium. This is how they tortured the Platycerium grande from the wild. Not grande, but Platycerium cornarium. This is one of the critically endangered species and highly ornamental plant, very expensive. And there's an overcollection of this Persia and other plants overcollected by the indigenous peoples in the area. Next slide. Okay, now this is now the upcoming extension project to be funded by PAASE, and so it's preserving Mount Pantaron's range, Highland Paradise. Paradise in the sense that, Pantaron, I said, is the habitat of many endemic as well as economically important species of plants and animals, and it's just like Baguio City, where the temperature is quite low in the area. It's a highland, so it's really a paradise. That's why this place will be developed as a tourism site by the officials of San Fernando. Next slide. And so this proposed extension project has the following objectives. One, of course, we have to train the Manobo, the indigenous people in the area, on how to mass propagate the economically important plants, focusing on ornamental plants and plants which are possible raw materials for handicraft making. And this is one of the ways to improve the lives of the local people in the area through selling of these handicraft products, as well as selling of the ornamental plants propagated by them. And doing that, that's if we also propagate, that's also one of the ways to protect and conserve the remaining biodiversity in Mount Pantaron. And so we have to involve the stakeholders in rallying, in trying to improve their lives and also to improve the environment. The next slide. And so in our research project, during a 2-year period, that's we tried to train some of the stakeholders, the Manobo, and so we trained them how to collect the seeds, wildlings, and spores from the wild. And that's initial collection that they had, and we tried to establish the nursery to nurture these wildlings, seedlings collected from them in the wild. And also in the university, I mentioned this last time, we have the spore bank, where we collected several spores, species of ferns, and stored them in this spore bank. And the spores are sources of plants fern plants to be propagated. And so we can mass propagate the economically important species of ferns by just using the spores. And these are just examples of species which we have propagated. In fact, we have been successful in propagating the critically endangered staghorn fern. Okay, that's the one. There's a Platycerium, the juvenile plants of Platycerium coronarium, grown plant spores with the help of Dr. Fulgent Coratico. And so that's it. And the next slide will show how people, how the local would collect plants from the wild and sell them. Like we have the pitcher plants being sold, the staghorn ferns also sold, collecting from the wild. And of course, when you train them, you have to improve how they should collect and how they would sell the ornamental plants. Okay, next slide. And this is one of the species which is a raw material for handicraft making. Locally, we call this one as nito. This is Lygodium cercinatum, and these are the handicraft products out of the nito fern. Okay, so this is also one of the possible products that the locals can produce and sell. Next slide. And this is what we call as kilob, the Cronopteris linearis, which is also a raw material to produce these handicraft products like the cigar case, the bracelet, the belt can be made out of this fern plant, the Cronopteris linearis. Next slide. And well, we saw the overharvesting of the tree ferns. Tree ferns, the trunks are utilized as substrate to grow other plants, and also they would make these handicraft products out of the tree fern trunk. And this is the bird's nest, Aspidimnidos, and the root system is being used as substrates also to grow other plants. And the sliced tree fern trunk, and again utilized as a substrate to grow plants, to grow other plants. Next slide. And this is the rattan plant. And these are some of the products, handicraft products produced from this rattan plant. And so this is also possible handicraft products that will be produced by them and can be sold as additional income for them in the future. Next slide. And well, this is the abaca plant, and we saw these different products they have produced, which can be refined and can be sold later on by them. And in fact, they started selling these products out of the abaca fibers. Next slide. And so these are the members of the community, the Manobo, and you can see how poor they are. So the children were sleepers here, and most of the time, every day or once a week, they harvest the abaca fibers and sell them in a cheaper price. So we have to improve how they harvest the abaca fibers and produce the refined products out of the abaca fibers. I think this is the last slide that I am projecting, and I think that's the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir V, for that very comprehensive presentation. of the research results regarding Mount Pantaron and also the future steps that we could do for the community. At this time, we'll now go to the main meat of the activity for the MOA signing. And may I call Dr. Ann Villalobos for the signing and the presentation of the Memorandum of Understanding. Ma'am Ann?
So I would like to request Noel to flash the Memorandum of Understanding. So do we need to go through this? Oh, okay. So that's how it starts. Now all men by this presents the Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering, or PAASE, a nonprofit organization composed of scientists and engineers of the Philippine descent who have distinguished themselves in scholarly and research-related activities with postal address at Marine Science Institute, Velasquez Street, University of the Philippines, Diliman, Quezon City, 1101, Philippines, herein represented by its president, Dr. Gisela P. Concepcion, who is duly authorized to represent it in this agreement, hereinafter referred to as PAASE. Then the next player is the Central Mindanao University with office address at Musuan, Maramag, Bukidnon, herein represented by its president, Dr. Jesus Antonio G. Dereje, who is duly authorized to represent it in this agreement, hereinafter referred to as CMU. The Department of Science and Technology, Regional Office 10, a regional line government agency with address at Carmen, Cagayan de Oro City, herein represented by its Regional Director, Alfonso P. Alamban, hereafter referred to as DOST 10. And the Municipal Government of San Fernando, with office address of San Fernando, Bukidnon Province, Philippines, represented herein by Honorable Mayor Levi C. Edma, herein referred to as LGU San Fernando, Bukidnon. Then witnesseth that, whereas the parties desire to collaborate with each other for the development and implementation of programs that respond to employment, food production, health and environment, research and education, whereas PAASE aims to promote the advancement of science, engineering and technology, encourage collaborative work among scientists and engineers of Philippine descent in research and development through scholarly and scientific endeavors, support efforts that advance science and technology, and recognize and honor the achievements of scientists and engineers of Philippine descent. Whereas CMU, through the Center for Biodiversity Research and Extension in Mindanao, which is CBRIM, is willing to share its expertise and facilities to help the identified community in the implementation of the project. Whereas DOST 10 is mandated to provide direction, leadership, and coordination of scientific and technological efforts, and is willing to support the use of SNT-based innovation in activities that are geared and utilized in areas of maximum economic and social benefits for the people. The next page, whereas LGU San Fernando Bukidnon, per resolution number 2016-058, is recognized as the Handicraft Center in the province of Bukidnon, whereas the ongoing DOST GIA funded research, biodiversity and selected mountain ecosystems of Mindanao for conservation and sustainable development by CBRIM-CMU researchers choose to establish sustainable livelihood options for the indigenous cultural communities in Mount Pantaron Range, San Fernando, Bukidnon. Whereas as an offshoot of the DOST GIA funded research by CBRIM-CMU, the extension project entitled Preserving Mount Pantaron Range Highland Paradise through the development of marketable indigenous handicraft and ornamental plants was proposed by Dr. Annabel P. Villalobos, a DOST Balik scientist. Whereas the objective of this project is to help the livelihood of lumad farmers living within Mount Pantaron Range and to protect and conserve the remaining biodiversity in the area. Now, therefore, for and in consideration of the above premises, the parties hereunto have jointly agreed to implement a scheme designed to achieve their common objectives. Next. Now, therefore, Article 1, obligation of PAASE. The PAASE shall deposit a trust fund the donation of $2,000 to CMU to be spent solely for this project. And 2, provide additional expertise from PAASE members as required to assist Dr. Annabel P. Villalobos, Dr. Victor B. Amoroso, and the team of CMU scientists in carrying out projects. Article 2, obligations of CMU. The CMU shall, through CBRIM, conduct trainings and workshops with expenses to be charged to the PAASE CMU Trust Fund, coordinate with the LGU and provide technical personnel with their transportation expenses charged to CMU administration to attain the objectives of the project. Keep records of the project preparation, monitor the progress of the implemented training and workshop activities, and evaluate such trainings and workshop activities. And 4th, render technical advice in relation to the trainings and workshop activities to the barangay officials. Obligations of DOST 10. The DOST 10 shall monitor and evaluate the activities of the project and provide additional expertise from DOST 10 members as required to assist Dr. Annabel P. Villalobos, Dr. Victor B. Amoroso, and the team of CMU scientists in carrying out projects. Then you have Article 4, obligations of LGU San Fernando Bukidnon. The LGU San Fernando, through the special program, Preservation of Culture and Arts, shall 1. Provide administrative assistance and logistics support to CMU in the implementation of this project. Facilitate the creation of the Indigenous Handicraft and Ornamental Entrepreneurs Association. 3. Provide a venue for the training and workshops. 4. Assure the attendance of the participants to the trainings and workshop. 5. Encourage the skills application of the knowledge gained from the trainings and workshops. 6. Facilitate the designation and establishment of product display centers. 7. Promote and market the indigenous ornamental and handicrafts. 8. Draft work and financial plan. And 9. Liquidate expenses. Then for Article 5, amendments. This agreement may be amended, revised, or modified at any time during the effectivity hereof through a written instrument duly executed and signed by the parties. Article 6, effectivity and termination of the MOU. This agreement shall take effect upon signing of the parties' representatives and shall remain valid and effective unless amended or terminated. Either party may terminate this agreement for cause by serving any parties a written notice 30 days before the intended dates of termination. And witness whereof, the parties aforementioned have set their hands on the date first above mentioned. We have Gisela P. Concepcion, President PAASE, Jesus Antonio G. Derihe, President CMU, Honorable Levi C. Edma, Mayor San Fernando Bukidnon, Alfonso P. Alamban, Regional Director, DOST 10. Signed in the presence of Fortunato T. de la Peña, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Mariano R. Santo Domingo, Vice President, Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering, PAASE. And I think that's it for the MOU. Oh, acknowledgement, as usually what it is, Republic of the Philippines, Province of Bukidnon. Before me, a notary public for and blank personally appeared the parties with corresponding proof of identity as indicated below. So we have Gisela P. Concepcion, Jesus Antonio G. De Rey, Levi C. Edma, Alfonso P. Alamban. That's just the regular acknowledgement of the signing of the MOU. And thank you. So I guess all the parties signatory have a copy of the MOU. Giselle? Hello? President. Okay, they have a copy. Then we have President Dere, Honorable Edma, represented by Michael Angelo. Michael Angelo. And then we have Director Alfonso Alamban. You have a copy of the MOU too, right?
You have a copy also.
Are we okay? Maybe you can flash where the signatories are. Okay, Giselle has it. President Rehi, do you have it? Is he still here? Yeah. Michael Angelo, you have a copy of the MOU, right? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then we have President Rehi. Okay, thank you, sir. So are we done with the signing? Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Florfe.
Okay, thank you very much. May I request everyone for a virtual applause for this very significant activity that we have done for today. So it's really a very significant activity since this is done among 4 sectors. So thank you everyone for the signatures that you have already there, different copies. So at this point, may we now hear messages from our dignitaries. May I call in first our very own, very dynamic CMU President, Dr. Jesus Antonio G. De Rey. Sir, you can now take the floor, the virtual floor. Sir President.
Okay.
Sir Jess, I think you are muted.
He's muted, yeah. He's talking.
Sir President, I think you are muted.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning to everyone and good evening to those in the United States of America. To the key personalities and movers of today's noble activity, Honorable Fortunato T. de la Peña, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology. To our ever supportive Dr. Gisela P. Concepcion, President, Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering, our Dr. Alfonso P. Alamban, Regional Director, Director for DOST Region 10, and members of Central Mindanao University Board of Regents, Honorable Levi C. Edma, Municipal Mayor, San Fernando, Bukidnon, my former mentor and my inspiration, Dr. Ann T. Villalobos, PAASE member, DOST Balik Scientist Program awardee, also my inspiration and my idol, Dr. Victor B. Amoroso, University Professor Emeritus, Central Mindanao University, and scientists of NAST, other key officials of Central Mindanao University, Dr. Alan P. Gargantes, PAASE member, and Vice President for Research Development and Extension, Dr. Florpia Akma, Director Sabrim, colleagues in the public service, Ma'am Lourdes Cruz, Sir Eno Lansigan, Ma'am Marjay Penna, and Sir Joe Cruz. Beautiful and productive morning. Good evening to everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate everyone for heeding the heartening call of biodiversity and indigenous community. Preserving Mount Pantaran ranges, Island Paradise through sustainable extension strategies of Central Mindanao University and DOST Research for Indigenous Farmers of San Fernando, Bukidnon is not just relevant today, but also a necessity awaiting solutions from experts and advocates. Pantaran mountain range in Mindanao is a haven of biodiversity and a home to many indigenous people. This heartwarming description means many rely on its existence from the various species seeking refuge within the watersheds that these mountain ranges host up to the communities of people whose abode and livelihood reside. Protecting the Pantaran range in Mindanao and the implementation of any form of preservation is one noble activity that would bind the academic, local government unit, biodiversity advocates, and the indigenous communities. The simple act of forging memorandum of understanding among our university, Department of Science and Technology in Bukidnon, and the Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering means we are now genuinely aiming to extend whatever expertise and resources we have to help the Mount Pantaran range. The mountain range, which serves as the biocultural backbone of Mindanao, the home of diverse ethnic groups, and a steward of Pantaran range, the biodiversity corridor, a habitat essential for maintaining biodiversity and large-scale ecological processes, and the home of the different endemic flora and fauna like Philippine eagle, and the river of life, the main source of major watershed in the region, serving 25 municipalities of Mindanao and 3 provinces. Being an academic institution privileged enough to be part of this endeavor means an opportunity to be part of the solutions and innovations through the research and extension capabilities of our faculty and staff. Moreover, this forms as our corporate social responsibility our university social responsibility to the community to whom we owe much of our undaunted academic reputation. Communities have always served as our channel to showcase not just our expertise, but our love and care to humanity, the silent yet powerful force that attracts multiple folds of blessings and opportunities of our university. Before our undertaking today, our organizations are already engaged in a cycle of people helping people and community helping community, benefiting all of us and keeping our organizations relevant and sustainable all throughout the years. And today, as the president of CMU, I genuinely express my commitment to extend the valuable cycle to the indigenous farmers of San Fernando, Bukidnon. I have always believed that partnership in any form of collaborations is the best way to share whatever blessings and resources we have to sectors and organizations that needed them the most. Again, my congratulations to all the movers of this very noble activity. Rest assured, as an adopted Manubo, Dato Intunda, Central Mindanao University is with you in preserving Mount Pantaran Range Highland Paradise. Again, pleasant good morning, good evening to all. God bless everyone. Advance Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year to everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your very heartwarming message and your commitment to our endeavor. At this time, we'd like to proceed with a message of Honorable Secretary Fortunato de la Peña, the Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology. I suppose he has a recorded message, so if we do have, may I request the technical team to play it. May I know if we have the recorded message?
Madam Gisela here. I have not received a reply from Secretary de la Peña. So at this point, I think there is no recorded message, and he is at the meeting in Bontoc.
Thank you, Ma'am Giselle. Now, so with that, we'd like to proceed with a message of Honorable Mayor Levy Edma, who is represented to us by Sir Michael Angelo Mendeo, the in charge of the tourism of the San Fernando Bukidnon. Sir Michael, you can now proceed.
Yes, good morning, ma'am. Good morning and good evening to everyone in the States. To our CMU President, Dr. Jesus Antonio G. Direje, to Honorable Fortunato T. de la Peña, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, to Director Alfonso P. Alamban, Director 4 of DOST Region 10, and to the President of PAASE, Dr. Gisela P. Concepcion, and to everyone who is in this virtual room. Good day. In behalf of our beloved Mayor, Honorable Levy Edma, LGU, the local government of San Fernando of Bukidnon, is very much thankful for being a recipient of this project. This will help much on tourism, ecotourism, and much more on the preservation of culture and arts. This project connects the gap between livelihood sustainability in modern times. Mostly projects introduced by the local government to them, to the LUMADs, are highly technical, where they hardly adapt and cannot sustain. So they go back to poaching of ornamental plants. They thought it's medicinal plants. They selling it to the town proper, to everywhere. Or over harvesting raw materials in the mountains to make indigenous products, handicrafts, for souvenirs and for tourism purposes. We hope that this project can help them through programs that respond to employment and uplift their way of living through skills enhancement and develop their creativity without hindering their culture and traditions, and teaching them new ways on biodiversity protection and conservation amidst tourism activities. Lastly, we want to thank you, Sebrem, Sir Vic and Ma'am Flor. We owe you a lot, to the RAs, to the PAs, for giving us hope that we can be a premier ecotourism destination in Bukidnon. We're looking forward to more projects, to more research, to more protection and conservation endeavors. And to PAASE, we are very thankful for this. Thank you for this great support. LGU San Fernando, through preservation of culture and arts, headed by our mayor, C. Edma, ensures you that we can arrive a positive result on this project. And once again, thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much, Sir Mike, for your warm message and for always being a very good research partner, research collaborator in San Fernando. So we'd now like to proceed with the message of the Director of the Department of Science and Technology, Region 10. We'd like to welcome now Director Alfonso Alamban.
Thank you very much, Dr. Akma, and good morning to everyone here in the Philippines, and good evening for our partners in the United States. Let me just first acknowledge the Honorable Secretary, my boss, Secretary Fortunato T. de la Peña. I'm sure that he had already started his regional visits before he ends his term, and I suppose he had scheduled already his visit here in the region by January. I'm sure if he's not busy, he will be excited to join us today, as Bukidnon is close to his heart. In fact, he requested in 2019 that we schedule his National Science and Technology Week celebrations here in Bukidnon to coincide with his birthday. And I'd like to thank our President, Antonio Direhi, for also accommodating the National Science and Technology Week. Dr. Direhi is our strong partner in education and development. Dr. Ann Villalobos, our Balik scientist, Mayor Levi Edma, as represented by Michael Angelo, Dr. Gisela Concepcion, our PAASE president, Dr. Victor Amoroso, a longtime partner of the DOST, our PAASE members, and other stakeholders of the science and technology community. Let me thank Dr. Villalobos for initiating another research and extension activity in Mindanao. We know this part of the country had lagged behind in recent years in the area of research and development. And we are thankful of Dr. or rather SecBoy's Science for Change program, which had improved tremendously the research allocations in Northern Mindanao. We already have 3 niche research centers in Northern Mindanao. One for bamboo here at Central Mindanao University, another for sea cucumber at Mindanao State University of Naaway, and for polymers at Mindanao State University Iligan Institute of Technology. Our aim is that researches will translate into technologies ready for commercialization. We already have a number of technologies developed by Central Mindanao University, which will already pitch and commercialize. And also some of our faculty have spun off the products of the research. We hope that we will have more of this kind, not only from CMU, but from all colleges and universities in the region and the research and development institutes in the region. We have also provided a substantial portion of our local granted aid for research, research and development to address gaps in the industry, such as those in food processing, handmade paper clay, and spirulina culture protocols. This has supported the livelihood of the employees of these enterprises, especially during this pandemic. For San Fernando and nearby municipalities, we have a number of projects, joint projects that had benefited the local residents and the IP communities, including bamboo processing, another project for science for the convergence of agriculture and tourism, and disaster prevention. We are also gearing up for GRIND, or Grassroots Innovation for Development, and have started talking into conducting, or rather, we have already financed the conduct of microbial cocktails research by Xavier University, and with our local communities, what they call concoction. We believe a number of innovations coming from the IP communities are worth looking into and may even benefit the mainstream communities. It is for this reason that we are happy that this project on preserving Mount Pantaran Range Highland Paradise Sustainable Extension Strategies by CMU DOST Research for the indigenous farmers in San Fernando, Bukidnon. We recognize the uniqueness of the plants and animals as presented by Dr. Amoroso, and maybe some of them is be spun off into several projects that are aligned with our current initiatives, including livelihood, agri and tourism, payment for environmental services, and the support for creative arts, which are also prevalent in the IP communities. We are looking forward to an exciting and synergistic work ahead of us with our partners in the science community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Director Alamban, for your warm message to all of us. And so this time we would like to call in Dr. Giselle Concepcion, the President of the PAASE, for the message. Ma'am.
Thank you. Warm greetings, deep gratitude to CMU President Dr. Dariga, DOST Regional Director Alamba, Honorable Mayor EDMA, represented by Mr. Michelangelo Mendiola, Thank you to all our distinguished guests and participants from CMU, DOST, and the LGUs, and to my colleagues in PAASE, led by our national scientist, Lourdes Cruz, former presidents of PAASE, current board members. We are here in full force today to signify our commitment to this very important, unique MOU that we are signing at the end of year 2021. This is very meaningful to me because as Secretary de la Peña is ending his term middle of next year, I am ending my term as PAASE president this month. And it's been a very challenging 2 years for all of us, but we have survived and we have progressed, all because of the commitment of our prime movers in PAASE. And we have with us today our Vice President and President-elect Mario Santo Domingo, who will bring PAASE with its commitments in the form of MOUs to greater heights. But this particular endeavor is particularly meaningful to me because I am also a biodiversity researcher, just like national scientist Luli Cruz and others like Cecilia Reyes and Elsie Jimenez, who are stalwarts of PAASE. Others who believe that bottom line, science and art are there to serve nature. We are stewards of nature, and no better way to demonstrate how we can take good care of nature, of the future of our earth, by coming together, okay? Multi-stakeholders coming together, as President Derick so eloquently described, and I stand in awe of his message, okay, today. To preserve, to sustain, and to share the bounties of nature, okay, in a pristine place like Mount Pantaron, our highland paradise, with its direct stewards, the Lumad farmers. Okay, so this is really what I think science, art, and culture are about. It's about trying to understand how humans interact with nature through what grows on land and thrives at sea. And it is our mission as stewards of this earth to take good care of the rest of nature. And so I think this is a unique MOU. It's a very ambitious one, but as Dr. Daria said, it's a noble one that we should pursue. And while PAASE has signed other MOUs in other provinces, and our prime movers in those provinces are also here, like Dr. Alvin Culaba in Leyte, and in Bataan, well, where we have also indigenous peoples, our national scientist Luli Cruz has been working with them for very many years now. And we also have, in the province of Rizal, our very own Vice President, Mario Santo Domingo, leading the effort relating to the education of our youth and well, preserving the culture in the province of Rizal. Okay. We think that we are really moving towards what we call a whole of locality or whole of province approach involving different stakeholders in society. So this is the only way that we can achieve many goals all at the same time if we work together, being like-minded and like-hearted. in this worthwhile endeavor. So I would like to thank all of you today for affirming this goal of ours. And the reason we are here today truly is because you have PAASE members, NAST members, and faculty of the CMU, Doctors Andrea Lobos and Victor Amoroso, who have dedicated their lives to projects such as this. Okay, and I like to say it's not just an idealistic, project. It's something that we want to translate to real benefits to the communities in terms of an industry, a very important industry in our country, which is ecotourism. So tourism is considered like the third or fourth most important promising industry in our country, and ecotourism should be at the heart of tourism. And let me say that in my first year as PAASE president, before the COVID pandemic, let its full force be felt, we were planning ecotourism tours all over the country. And we were inviting Victor and Anne to host one in Bukidnon, just like Alvin is hosting one in Tacloban. So these are centers of biodiversity in our country. And we wanted to do an R&R, that's recreation, appreciation of nature, but also an R&D tour among us PAASE members. So we would organize ourselves into groups of 10 and visit a locality for 1 week, okay? And assess what it was that we could do for the communities in Tacloban, in Bukidnon, Malaybalay, and also in Rizal, where our Vice President and President-elect has major initiatives going, including the establishment of a Morong Museum. So I think the future bodes well for all of us. And let me say that with the signing of this MOU, I think we have sealed the pact. We have made a pact to continue this on the coming years. And we are dedicated officers and former officers of the PAASE to contribute in any way we can to your worthwhile endeavors. Dr. Jariha, you can count on us for that. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mom Giselle, for that very meaningful, very touching message to all of us. One thing that I learned that would really remain in my heart and in my mind is that you emphasize that we should be stewards for nature. So we should give big virtual applause to all our message givers or those who gave us the messages. You really gave us very good things to think about and to continue the passion of doing extension work and being good stewards of this world. So let's give a big virtual applause to each of us. And yes, thank you very much, Dr. Dereje. Thank you also to Director Alamban. Thank you also, Sir Mike. Ma'am Giselle, thank you for your very, very touching messages for this morning. It's really a very noble activity for this morning. And you said, ma'am, that this has really sealed the path for future directions. So thank you everyone for that. So before we will have the closing, we will have a photo op for all of us. And I think this should be facilitated by Sir Richmond, the technical team. Yeah, so can we have the photo opportunity now by the technical team?
Request everyone to turn on their video feeds. Thank you.
Are you now taking the picture? Can we hear 1, 2, 3, ready?
You have to turn on the pictures first.
Okay, may I request everyone to please turn on your camera?
Okay, thank you. Ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3. Please stay. Please smile. Stay. All right. One more. Ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay. That's for page 1. We have another page. Ready, everyone? Smile. 1, 2, 3. One last shot. Ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Okay, I
Thank
think
you.
we're done with the photo opportunity. So I am now officially signing off as the Master of Ceremonies for today's activity. So unless we will be having some social interactions, Ma'am Giselle.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all. Marge is from Bukidnon, Marge Peña.
Wow, Marge. I didn't know, Marge.
Yeah, I grew up in Phillips Del Monte, Bukidnon, where the pineapple fields are.
Well, in that case, well, some socials, Flor, I wanted to say that as a child and as a young, well, a teenager, we would visit the pineapple farms of Dole, and beautiful. I have fond memories of visiting Bukidnon too. Yeah.
I grew up right next to the pineapple fields, but this is Del Monte. Del Monte, Bukidnon.
I'm mistaken. I think it's Del Monte, not the Dole.
Yeah, Del Monte, where the big golf course is. Yes.
Dole is in Jensen, right? This is Del Monte, and I remember eating the ham.
Yes, yeah, we have a ham smoking place for ham.
In the that are fed pineapple.
Yeah, pineapple field.
Oh, good.
You need that for Christmas.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all. Yeah.
Everyone.
Merry
Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Happy holidays.
I wanted to greet Dr. Datalia.
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am. Ma'am Giselle.
You remember
Merry Christmas.
our extensive conversation.
Yes, ma'am. Oh,
Yes. So
that
happy
was
to
a
see
year
that
ago.
we're here. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
doing a great job, President. CMU is shining. It's really shining. Yeah, with all of you there. So
you have to
Thank
visit.
you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
I will visit. I promise to visit. As I promised Alvin, I am going to Tagloban one of these days. You know, next year. I would like to do that.
Hi, Luli.
Hi.
Merry Christmas.
Hello, Merry Christmas to all, to everyone.
Hi, Ino.
Merry Christmas.
Hello.
Giselle, after your
Merry
US
Christmas.
trip.
Christmas. After my US trip.
Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And congratulations and all from
Congrats.
the CMU.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And
Sorry, I'm driving,
Dick
so
and
I have to leave now.
CMU.
Thank you. Congratulations.
bye, Alvin.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Mario.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And
I am
bye-bye.
still jet lagged to tell
Ma'am
you.
Ann, thank you very
Very
much.
much.
Victor, more power, Victor. Congratulations.
Merry
Okay.
Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Now.
Congratulations.
Merry
Bye
We'll wait
bye.
for your
Thank you.
visit,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
For doing all of this.
Congratulations.